Talk about your background. What got you started into caring about this and thinking about this and then acting on it? And I know, like, when we first talked, you said you told me you were a nurse and you just mentioned that. And you said, well, I didn't want to mix that with the Black Girls Garden because I don't want people to think that you got to be some kind of medical professional to do this. So talk about your background. Again, you're listening to the Black Anthropy Radio Show, and this morning, my guest is Miss Chanel, uh, founder and CEO of Black Girls Garden. And we're talking about how to have your own garden in your own space that you have access to.
That's right. Well, so our first thing first was we realized that we didn't know what things looked like. And when I say that is, we didn't know tomatoes started from flowers. Like literally, really didn't know. And so many people we knew didn't know. If you don't grow up in a farm or with a garden,
And how did you know?
We did. We just started growing. We decided one day that we were going to take back control of our diets. And we came up with a 5-year plan that we wanted to be able. My best friend, my sister, my husband.
Okay.
And so we said, we want to come up with the ability to be able to be self-sufficient, self-sustainable with what we grow in our own garden, so that if another pandemic were to come, we want to be like our grandparents and have food stocked. Our grandparents knew how to can. They could tell you when they were canning meat. They're canning eggs and everything else. Whereas, we're so far from that because of the convenience, because of the packaging, you forget about that. So the first things first was to make sure that in case of emergency, we wanted to be able to have enough food that we were stocked for at least a year. That was our goal. That's where it all started. And then when we really got to thinking like, well, what do we want to do? My background as a nurse I said, I want to have all the herbs that I can have. If it's an herb and it can grow in Ohio, and if it's perennial, I started with perennial. And perennial means it comes back every year. So some things don't. Some things are annuals. They only come annually. Some things are perennials and they come every year. Some things are annuals, they come twice a year, but that's neither here nor there. So I wanted to bring things into my garden that were self-sustainable because there are, lavender, lemon balm, peppermint, things like that come back every single year. I have a witch hazel tree. We have St. John's wort in our garden. And so we wanted to also bring in, I wanted to say, if the world ended, can I medicate my family?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now, that is where I would say a lot of my knowledge as a nurse comes in regards to understanding the disease process. But I look at it and say our grandparents understood it just as much as I do right now, and they didn't have to go to school for it.
Yes.
And so really understanding that it is up to us to teach this to our children. Now, me and my brothers and sisters, between us, we have 12 children between us, the three of us. And so we said, well, why we need to get them involved. Like this is because their friends come over. I mean, so at any time we were having.
And we only got 1 minute left,
so
you can go ahead.
We were having 20, 30 kids over, and instead of them playing around, it was like, here y'all, come on. Did you guys know that tomatoes grow from a flower? And they were like, no. And that's how Black Girls Garden really started getting going. We were like, hey, we see that, we're always in the high school. We're always in the community because we have me and my brother and sister all live in the same area. All our kids go to the same school. So we realized, like, this is something bigger than us and something bigger than just this. We want to take this to the greater community and help them understand, and then just, once it's, common knowledge, you don't even know that you got this little gem that we're giving you, that now our kids can at least they know how stuff grows. They're like, oh, that's an eggplant, that's a this, that. So, I mean, it was a drive and a passion, and we said, we can move this further, and even if we help 1, 2, 3 people, we've brought people over to help them create a healthier life.